India, home of 1.3 billion people, is a confluence of religions, traditions and customs. A thriving global center of technology and the world's largest democracy. As one of the oldest civilizations in the world with a rich cultural heritage and diversity, and as the fifth largest economy in the world, India is proud to assume the presidency of G20. As the country blooms into a new era, we look to another poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from its challenges. Lotus, the national flower of India, representing our culture, history and heritage. A poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from its challenges. And the inspiration for India's G20 logo design. The design, rendered in saffron, white, green and blue, is drawn from the national flag of India. The 7 petals in the logo signify the 7 seas and the coming together of 7 continents at G20 India 2023. Sitting above the lotus is a representation of the earth, reflecting India's pro-planet approach to life and seeing the world as one family. From this, we derive the theme for G20 India 2023, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. A theme that brings the G20's focus on shared global growth, while being in harmony with nature. G20 India 2023. One earth, one family, one future. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
Hari Om. Hari Om. I would request the participants to take their seats. Welcome back to the post-lunch session, and we have a very interesting theme here. This session will focus on the culture, arts and literature, and this would be the most awaited session of all the sessions. We'll begin the session with a musical rendition by our students. We have the students from Sanskrit, Psychology and BA. So let us listen to them. So they will be singing Maitrim Bhajada, and this prayer was written by Paramacharya of Kanchi, Shri Chandrasekhara Saraswati, who is also known as Periyava, to be sung in the UN Assembly by Srimati M.S. Subbalakshmi during its 50th anniversary. The song deals about universal brotherhood and peace as enshrined by the Sanatana Dharma. Yes. Okay. UN Day 1966. Sorry. भजत अखिल जेते मैत्रीं भजत अखिल जेते मैत्रीं भजत अखिल जेते आत्मवदेव परानपि पश्यता आत्मवदेव परानपि पश्यता युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत युद्धं त्यजत स्पर्धां त्यजत त्यजत परेश क्रममाक्रमणम् त्यजत क्रममाक्रमणम् मैत्रीं भजत अखिल भजेत जननी पृथ्वी कामदुघास्ते जननी पृथ्वी कामदुघास्ते जनो देवः सकल दयालु जनो देवः सकल दयालु नाम्यददा नाम्यदर दयतं जनता नाम्यदरत दयतं जनता श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनाना श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनाना श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनाना श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनाना श्रेयो भूयात् सकल Thank you, students, for the beautiful rendition. This song was composed against the background of the gloom of the Cold War and the fear of nuclear holocaust. As it begins, Maitrim Bhajada, let us all march together with this friendship in our mind so that we can all live together as one family. Now, we'll be having two interesting videos. I would request the media to play them.
In India, we've got a saying called as Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which literally means the world is one family. And when we think about the world as one family, the only thing that comes to our mind is living in peace within the human species. But we have to go further than that, and we have to live in peace with all entities on this planet, whether it is the animals, the wildlife, the forests, the elements of nature, that is the water we drink, the air we breathe, the land we walk on. Thank you.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam
As far as I can see, No soul was ever born outside this home. No heart has ever beat outside this song. When will we ever see that we must only be to feel the freedom of our unity? For in this great land we share a home, and in this great love a family.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
Nature has forged an unbreakable bond in all hearts and all lives. This love is our divine right, and nothing can take it away.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
When will we ever see that we must only be to feel the freedom of our unity? For in this great land we share a home, and in this great love a family.
In this land, share a home, and we are a family.
As you can see, our university is launching, and we have Aparauji and Sundarji and all of them working behind it. So yes, we'll be seeing that soon. And the video that was played, you could see Ricky Kitch. He is 3 times Grammy Award winning composer. So moving on, now, this is the most awaited moment. We have Lieutenant Colonel Mohanlal, lovingly called Laletan, as our next speaker. 40 years ago, a young actor made his screen debut in the role of a villain that the audience loved to hate in Manjal Virinya Pookal. It did not take the movie camera long to fall in love with his rare talent. Being one of the most admired and regarded as one of the greatest Indian actors in history, Shri Mohanlal has had one glorious career so far, from having worked in over 400 films spanning over a career of 4 decades across various film industries. A dynamic actor, he has also donned the role of a playback singer and a director. Shri Mohanlal's contribution to Malayalam cinema have been so immense that the government of India honored him with the Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan. He also became the first actor in India to be awarded the honorary rank of Lieutenant Colonel in the Territorial Army. We all are excited to listen to him. Amidst his busy schedule, he has taken time to join us online today. We are indeed privileged to hear him. As he'll be speaking in Malayalam, for the non-Malayali audience, we'll have a translation presented by Dr. Pramod Janaka, Assistant Professor from the School of EGCS. So big round of applause for Shri Mohanlal, and let's listen to him.
ഇത്രയും ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ചിന്മയ മിഷന്റെ മേഖലാ അധ്യക്ഷൻ സ്വാമി വിവേകാനന്ദജി C20 ഇന്ത്യ സംഘത്തിലെ ബഹുമാന്യ അംഗങ്ങളെ, ഭാരതീയ പൈതൃകത്തിന്റെ മൂല്യ വൈവിധ്യത്തിലും സാംസ്കാരിക വ്യാപ്തിയിലും വിശ്വസിക്കുന്ന ഒരാളെന്ന നിലയിൽ വസുധൈവ കുടുംബകം എന്ന മഹാമന്ത്രം ഉയർത്തിപ്പിടിക്കുന്നതിൽ എനിക്ക് അതിയായ സന്തോഷവും അഭിമാനമുണ്ട്. കാരണം ആ മുദ്രാവാക്യം സൂചിപ്പിക്കുന്നത് ഏവരെയും ഉൾക്കൊള്ളാനുള്ള മനസ്സ് മാത്രമല്ല, എവിടെയും ചെന്ന് ലയിച്ചു ചേരാനുള്ള മനസ്സ് കൂടിയാണ്. അഭിനേതാവെന്ന നിലയ്ക്കും എത്തിച്ചേരുന്ന സ്ഥലം സ്വന്തം വീടാക്കി മാറ്റേണ്ടി വരുന്ന ഒരാളെന്ന നിലയ്ക്കും ഭാരതീയനായിരിക്കെ തന്നെ വിശ്വപൗരനായി ജീവിക്കാനാണ് എനിക്കിഷ്ടം. അതിഥി ദേവോഭവ എന്ന ആപ്ത വായിക്കാൻ ഞാൻ ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നു. വസുധൈവ കുടുംബമെന്ന സങ്കല്പത്തോട് ഏറെ അടുത്തു നിൽക്കുന്ന ഒന്നാണത്. കാരണം വൈവിധ്യമാർന്ന സംസ്കാരങ്ങളുടെ സങ്കലനവും അവയെ ബഹുമാനിക്കലും കൂടിയാണ് അതിഥിയെ ഈശ്വരനായി സങ്കല്പിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത്. വൈവിധ്യമാർന്ന ആശയങ്ങളുടെ ഉൾക്കൊള്ളലിനും വിപുലീകരണത്തിനും വേണ്ടി തുടക്കമിടുന്ന C20 ഇന്ത്യ 2023 എന്ന ഈ ചർച്ചാ പരിപാടിക്ക് എൻ്റെ എല്ലാവിധ ആശംസകളും നേരുന്നു. ഒപ്പം G20 ഉച്ചകോടിക്ക് സഹായകരമായ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെ നിന്നുകൂടി ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ എന്നും ഈ പരിപാടി വൻ വിജയമായി തീരട്ടെ എന്നും ജഗദീശ്വരനോട് പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു. ജയ് ഹിന്ദ്.
Translation of Shri Mohanlal's speech. The most respected regional head of Chinmaya Mission, Swami Vivekananda ji, and the respected delegates of C20 India Engagement Group. Being a believer in the diversity of values and vastness of cultural heritage of our Bharatiya tradition, I have immense pride and pleasure in upholding the Maha Mantra of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, because this slogan indicates a mind that not only accepts everyone, but also one that adapts to any place. As an actor and as an individual who has to consider any place that he visits as its own home, I would like to maintain myself as a Bharatiya and at the same time a global citizen as well. Along with this, I would prefer to add the maxim Atithi Devo Bhava, on which is very near to the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, because considering Adithis, guests, as God clearly suggests the blending of diverse cultures and also giving respect to them. On this occasion, I extend my heartfelt wishes to the C20 India 2023 event, which initiates inclusiveness and expansion of diverse ideas generated through the program. I pray to God Almighty that this event may generate helpful activities for the G20 summit, and may this event be a great success. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, Pramoji, for the translation. I also would like to thank Shri Mohanlal. We all are elated to hear you, and we really do wish that you could be here with us today. Lots of love and affection from Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth and Chinmaya Mission. Thank you, sir, once again. Now, let me invite our speakers for this session. I would like to invite Swami Sharadanandji and Dr. K.K. Mohammed for this session. I would request them to take their seats on the dais. And I also would request the students to come and Swamiji, please. So as Dr. Achyut Shankar has said, We have removed the plastic, we have restructured the whole bouquet, and we have kept his word, and we are giving the new restructured bouquet to them. Please accept our token of love and affection, Dr. K.K. Mohammed and Swami Shardanand ji. Dr. K.K. Mohammed. He's a renowned archaeologist. Welcome, sir. Now we have Swami Shardanand ji as our next speaker. Swami Shardanand ji is an Acharya at Chinmaya International Foundation. Prior to joining the Chinmaya mission, he studied various Indian spiritual disciplines including Vedanta, Yoga, Shri Upasana from different ashrams and institutions. A postgraduate in Advaita Vedanta, he ranked first at the All India level and was awarded a gold medal from the prestigious Sanskrit University, now the Central Sanskrit University, New Delhi. Swamiji has conducted numerous camps in English and Malayalam all over India for Chinmaya mission. So he is a great teacher, a scholar, and an upasaka. Today, Shardanand ji will be addressing us on art, culture, and literature as a gateway to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We are indeed blessed to have him amidst us. Let me invite Swamiji for the address.
Angikam bhuvanam yasya vachikam sarvavangmayam aharyam chandrataradi tam namas satvikam shivam. My topic for today's presentation is art, culture, and literature as a gateway to the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Let me start with a beautiful prayer from the Krishna Yajurveda. Om Venas Tatpashyan Vishwa Bhuvanani Vidwan Yatra Vishwam Bhavatyeka Nidam Yasmin Nidagum Sancha Vijayagumsa Otaf Protascha Vibhu Prajasu Pradadvoche Amradam Nuvidwan Gandharvo Nama Nihitam Guhasu. He in whom this all universe, the entire universe originates, and into whom it is absorbed. He who exists as the warp and woof in all the created beings. He in whom the universe finds a single place of rest. Having experienced that Paramatma as the true nature of all beings, the Gandharva named Vena proclaimed that reality is immortal nature of all beings, that alone exists in all these names and forms. May that reality illumine our intellect, dhiyo yona prachodayat. All beings of this universe search for happiness and fulfillment, but they end up in sadness and suffering. Why? In one word, our scripture says, the cause of all sadness and suffering is avidya or fear. Avidya, ignorance of the truth's nature, manifests as fear in the heart of all beings. Bhaya, fear, is the root cause of all problems of this world. Bhaya divides us and creates unrest. Veda proclaims, Abhayam vai Brahma. The true joy is in the experience of oneness. To see the underlying oneness in all the apparent duality, like seeing the gold in all ornaments, earth in all earthen pots. To see beyond the manifestations of nama and rupa, names and forms. In Vedic literature, earth represents the universal oneness. There's one sukta named Mritika Sukta of Yajurveda. It says, Bhumihi Dhenuhu Dharani Lokadharini. The earth is the one who gives, one who fulfills all our needs, and one who upholds this entire universe. This is a very beautiful prayer which says, Mrittike dehime pushtim toyi sarvam pratishtitam taya hatena papena gacchami paramam gatim. O Mother Earth, please give us nourishment. Please give us the intellect to see the oneness. May you remove the ignorance of duality from our heart and take us to the experience of oneness. It's a beautiful prayer. Now comes a question. What is the practical way to experience this oneness? Even when we see the plurality of this world. So in the first mantra we chanted as a prayer, there the Vena is a Gandharva. That mantra is seen by a Gandharva named Vena. And he says that Gandharva Vidya is that which can remove the fear from the heart of people, which can unite us, which can take us to the great heights of oneness. Now comes a question, who is Gandharva? We hear about Gandharvas in our Purana, the celestial singers, etc. But what is the meaning of Gandharva? Says, Linga Purana says, Gam Vedavacham Dharayati, Vicharayati, Vahanti, Shishyan Padhayanti, Idi Gandharva. Gandharva is not only a singer, Gandharva is a person who understands the essence of the scriptures, one who understands it, one who practices it, and one who preaches it to the people. So, what is the tool by which this understanding of oneness, the wisdom of unity, can be brought into day-to-day life? He says that Kavya is the tool. So there is a very beautiful story of Bharata Muni. Bharata, we all hear about him, Bharata Muni. He saw the art and the culture of art and poetry and literature in the heavens, and he decided that this is the only one tool which will unite people, which will bring happiness and joy to people, and which will help them to evolve. And that's why Bharata brought this Kavya Shastra into this world. So, he says that this is the only tool. Why Kavya is needed? Because Kavya is that which actually unites us. This is the only tool by which Aikamatya can be achieved in this world. And Kavya is of two nature, Shravyam and Drishyam. That is, literature and arts. So it's a very famous, Subhash that says, Sangeetam api sahityam saraswatyas tanadvayam ekam apada madhuram anyad alochanamritam. The literature and arts are two forms of Saraswati. Through the art and literature, we experience that immense joy which is there inside. Then what is the difference? Art can manifest that joy at that moment itself, and the literature is alochanamritam. It will take some time. We have to think over it so that we will be able to understand the essence of it, and which we can enjoy that oneness. Now, there was a great literature critic named Mammada. So he wrote a very beautiful work known as Kavya Prakasha. In this work, in the work of Kavya Prakasha, Mammada explains why literature is needed in this way. Why what is the purpose of kavya, what is the purpose of literature, what is the purpose of arts in this world, he says, he enumerates different prayojanas, different uses or benefits of kavya. He says, kavyam yashase. Kavya, the literature and the arts bring instant fame. So there could be a person who is a very, a great scholar, but a person who can actually perform, whether it is in the field of literature or in the field of arts, he becomes famous. Kavyam yashase. Arthakrite. Of course, the literature and arts can bring livelihood to us. It can create artha. Artha is not only wealth, artha is not only money, artha is the means to attain anything. Whether we want happiness, whether we want name, fame, anything can be attained through the kavya. Third is vyavahara vidya. This is a beautiful point he points out. Why we should learn some point of art or literature. Says vyavahara vidya. It teaches us how to live. The literature is not only to tell some stories or some poetry, but the literature and arts actually shows us kim karaniyam, kim akaraniyam. What is to be done and what not to be done. What are our duties and what are the things which will bring great joy and also suffering. So the kavya tells us vyavahara, how to live in this world. And shiveta rakshataye. The fourth purpose of literature and art is to destroy that which is not shivam, that which is not auspiciousness. The literature and the arts can remove the negative aspects from the society. See, when we are in the world, lots of tensions and then stress and strain are built up in us. That's why in our culture, once in a month, at least once in a month, there will be some occasions where there will be some kinds of arts and literature forms are like there will be some festivals, some where we can sing and dance and understand. And why? Because like a pressure cooker, when the pressure increases, when the whistle goes out, and it becomes like that, when the pressure, that stress becomes too much in the heart of people, the literature and kavya, literature and the arts actually help us to come out of that strain and gain the peace inside. So Shiva itarakshataye. Kavya help to remove all the inauspicious, wrong ideas or the feelings from the heart of people and also from the society. The next one is paranurvrutaye. Literature, this great blessing in them that they can give us instant joy. Now, sadhya paranurvrutaye, when we see, when we hear, when we listen, when we read, when we understand, that moment itself, it can give us great joy. So, sadhya paranurvrutaye says, kanta sammitaya upadesha yuje. Nobody in this world want to hear some upadeshas. Nobody want to listen to advices. But we need advice. So there are three types of advice. One is like a Prabhu, like a master giving us orders. Says that Vedas are like that. Satyam vada, dharmam chara. It's like an order. Now, there are advices like a friend, mitra. The Puranas and Itihasas are like mitravat. Like a friend gives us advice. Now, there's a third way, kanta samyujaya. Like the wife gives advice. Actually, nobody wants to hear the advices of the wife, but so it should be given in such a way. It's an advice, but he understands and then he changes. That's a beautiful, we know the the story of the Abhijnana Shakuntala. In Abhijnana Shakuntala, there are so many ankas. So many stories are built up. And in between there's one place where Sarangarava says that Ata Parikshya Kartavyam Vishesham Sangatam Raha Ajnada Hrudayeshwevam Vairi Bhavati Saurhridam. The Shakuntala came to the court and the king said, I do not know this lady. Shakuntala is pregnant and now she has no way to go. The king rejected her and she cannot go back to the ashram. And she is really in a very bad situation. This time the Sarangarava, the disciple of the Kannua says, Ata Parikshya Kartavyam Vishesham Sangadam Raha. This, all these relations, before we enter into any kind of serious relations, we should Pariksha Kartavyam. We should actually examine the other person. Then alone we should enter. Otherwise what happened? Otherwise, Vairi Bhavati Sauhridam. That all love and affection will change into anger and frustration. And that's what we see nowadays. If you take the paper, to tell this one thing, he has written a beautiful, Nataka. So it will never feel that the Mahakavi is giving us an advice as the drama, progress, advice is given to us. So this is known as Kanta Sammitaya Upadesha Yuje. So like this, the literature and the arts can actually open up our eyes, our inner eyes, to see the truth, to see the oneness, to see the true nature of human existence, and actually help us to evolve, actually help us to understand the reality of life and the supreme purpose of life. So may this occasion of G20 help all to open their hearts, win our fears, and unite for the betterment of all beings. May arts and literature and culture help all nations to connect, expand, love, and find fulfillment. As the Rig Veda advises, Sangachadhvam, Samvadadhvam, Namastuvo Mano, Yadhava Sahasati. Assemble, speak together. Let your minds be known to each other. United be the thoughts of all, that all may live happily. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Check.
Thank you, Swamiji, for the address and marvelously connecting the art, culture, and literature to the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Now we have the next speaker for the session. We have Dr. Mohammad KK. Shri Mohammad KK retired from the Archaeological Survey of India as a Regional Director North in 2012. He is known for archaeological excavations and conservation works, for which he was conferred Padma Shri in 2019. He had his field training in archaeology at Ayodhya under Professor B.B. Lal. During his distinguished career, Shri Mohammad Ji is credited with some pioneering excavations. During his distinguished career, Shri Mohammad Ji was credited with some pioneering excavations like the Ibadat Khana constructed by the Mughal king Akbar. He also located and excavated the first Christian church in North India built by Akbar. He excavated a Buddhist stupa at Kesaria, where Lord Buddha had handed over his begging bowl to the people of Vaishali. He conserved the Samlu temple at Dantewada in Jagadalpur, working with an Excel group of the area in 2003. Shri Mohammad Ji reconstructed 80 temples at Chambal Valley with the help of the dreaded dacoits of the area. It is considered as a milestone in the field of conservation. Of the 4 transplantations so far executed in India, Shri Mohammed Ji has been part of heading 2 of them, namely Kurdi Mahadev Temple in Goa and Chaubi's Avatar Temple in Madhya Pradesh. An original thinker, Mr. Mohammed Ji set up a replica museum in the national capital where replicas of the masterpieces of Indian art are exhibited. He also floated the Adopt a Heritage scheme using the students as non-conventional energy and grey revolution. Sorry, sir. He has a distinguished profile, so I thought we all must be knowing about it. I'll wrap it up in a minute. And Grey Revolution, a movement to save unprotected historical structures through public participation. And more to go. He has also been awarded many awards. Okay, over to sir.
Kalkavu. Am I audible? Yeah. It is, the podium is intimidating. So I just wanted to keep away from him because, I'll be belittled by him. So it is, Hari Om, it is a pleasant personal pleasure and privilege for me to be here on the occasion of G20 and C20. The discussion is being carried out by Chinmaya Mission. So it's a great opportunity for me. The subject of our discussion is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. As Swamiji said, it is from Maha Upanishad, a minor Upanishad. I am Nija, Paro Vediganana. Because it is mine, it is yours, it is Lagu Chedasam. Udara Charidam to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And some people attribute that this is taken from Atharva Veda also, inspiration. And some say, no, it is from Samvayama. Whatever it is. Because our Upanishads, they contain a lot of such wisdoms. For example, you go to Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. There you can see Sarve Bhavantu Suginam Sarve Santu Niramaya. Go to Taittiriya Upanishad. Om Sahana Bhavadu Sahana Punaktu. So you have a lot of things like this one. But it was not known to the world. It became for the first time, its importance was conceived, understood by Dara Shukru. Dara Shukru was the son of Shah Jahan. He should have been the king, but he was killed by Aurangzeb. It was he who had translated all these Upanishads into Persian language, 50 Upanishads into Persian language. And that Upanishad, that translation fell into the hands of Desparin, a French historian, and that went into the hands of Arthur Schopenhauer, a German philosopher. And it was this German philosopher who brought out the real importance of our Upanishad. And he said, I keep by this Upanishad, he said Upaniket, just by the side of my bed. And this is the solace of my life while I am alive. And this would be my solace after I am dead. So it was he who had brought the importance of it. Because there are so many acharyas here to discuss about all these things. I am not going to show you that I had the opportunity to work with the Chambal dacoits. Chambal is in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh, as you all know, because it was once upon a time, it was infested with dreaded dacoits. So at one place, there were 200 temples. You had no other place in India where you had 200 temples at one place. And wherever I take up the charges, I often go for the most challenging work. So I asked people, what is the most challenging work here? So they said, this is the Badeshwar temple. Badeshwar means Bada Ishwar. And who is Bada Ishwar? It is Lord Shiva. So but they said, they cautioned me, it has got certain problems also. What are the problems? They said that it is infested with the dead dacoits of the area. You just cannot do anything without their express permission. So then now my question was how to get their permission. I went for various ways, nothing was working. And then I came to know that there was a very big police officer, a DGP. It was he who had shot that Pan Singh Tomar, a very dreaded dacoits. Now about Pan Singh Tomar, there is a film also. And it was he who had shot that Ghazi Baba. Who is Ghazi Baba? That Pakistani terrorist who had bombed our parliament house. He was the mastermind. And it was he who was behind the Kandar, this one, Apharan also. So I went to him and told him a very strange request. And very fortunately, he was from Trichur. He does not know Malayalam. Malayalam kurachu kurachu ariyam. That is what he speaks. So he said, I went to him with a strange request because it was he who had shot dead this man. So he had a name and fame. And he was revered also and he was feared also. So I went to him. So he gave an instruction to almost all the dacoits, living dacoits, that Muhammad is my man. He has come for a work and I had deputed him to that place. You should give him all the full help and support. Next, please. Slide say. Next. I'll just go through, hurry through because these are the temple parts. Next, please. This is temple means this is not forest. Huge dunes and maze of dunes are there. It has got its own pathways also, which is known to only the dacoits. Even if you depute a group of police people, they would be trapped in between. Next, please. This is Man Singh. Just look at his record. He is 1,112 police cases against him and murder cases 185. And out of them, 32 are police people. 32 police people. It's not working. This is Mohar Singh. Mohar Singh, no, before this one. Mohar Singh passed away 2 years back. And before that, he wrote a letter to the Prime Minister that the work which was going on in Bateshwar that is now stopped, kindly resume it. And he sent a copy to me also. I was in my town, Calicut. Next, please. This is Malkhan Singh. Malkhan Singh had near about 100 cases, but he used to use a letter pad for kidnapping persons. And he would send a letter to that person whom he wanted to kidnap, give me this much of amount, otherwise you would be kidnapped on such and such date. This is Pan Singh Tomar. Pan Singh Tomar was shot dead by our person, that is Vijay Raman. So I went to Vijay Raman, I told him. And he was an Olympian. He was a military man. He was an Olympian. This man, I am talking about Pan Singh Tomar, he was an Olympian. He participated, for 10 years, he kept up the record also. Nobody could defeat him. Such an important person. Next, please. This is Vijay Raman. He is from Trichur. He is a warrior, but he doesn't write warrior. Next, please. This is the file photograph. You can see Pan Singh, this man, sorry. ये कौन सी है लेजर का कौन सी है only I want only laser which one नहीं ये तो ये करने के लिए नहीं पॉइंटर ना वो काम नहीं कर रहे काम नहीं कर रहे छोड़िए okay we'll अच्छा so this is when I went to Pune. Now they are settled in Pune. When I went for a lecture we had a photograph. Next, please. This is all yes, she killed on one day, she killed 22 persons. Pulan Devi. Next, please. This is sometimes, they would be having 2-3 groups. So when I was working, there were 3 groups. One was Narve Singh Gujjar group, then Ram Babu Gadaria group, and the third one was from Rajasthan, Tokia groups. Next, please. So after getting their permission through this person, I went to the site with all the trepidation, with all the fear, with all the suspicions, what would happen, whether I would come back. whether I would come back in 1 piece or 2 piece or 3 piece. I mean, they could do anything. So when I went to the site, I saw the site like this one. 1,200 years back, the temples had fallen down like this. Next, please. Just look at it. 1,200 years back. In a huge earthquake, the entire temple town had come tumbling down like a pack of cards without sparing anybody to narrate even the harrowing details of a horror-stricken story. But I could discern there were 5 temples, 6 temples, where I have written A, there is a step. Only one small step is there. But for an archaeologist, that is enough. He would say that, I mean, there were 5 steps or 3 steps, and then there was a temple, and the temple is lying there. Similarly, B, C. But I was lost in the whole thought, you know. There might have been these temples, they had this one in 1,200 years, and everything was lost. And now huge trees are growing. You don't have time, don't have time to plan also. So I gave order that all of them should be removed so that we can have a better view of the whole temple. Next, please. So when everything was removed, it looked like this one. So this is a very good site, very good for a photographer. If you want to take photographs, it is very good. It is very good site for a journalist because, you know, one wanted to click few photographs and the other one wanted to write 2 or 3 articles. But for me, I had to put a tongue in each and every stone and ask him, where were you when the temple was standing? That is my questions. So is it now possible to reconstruct the temple as it was during those periods? You will say asambhav, but I will say sambhav. And that is what we are going to see now. Next, please. I looked through the whole thing. Most of them were Shiva temples. There were Vishnu temples also. So Shiva would be having Jada Makuta. Jadi, Charmi, Shikandi cha Sarvanga Sarvabhavana. Harischa Harinachascha Sarvabhuta Haraprabhu. It is ultimately he who destroys everything, Shashadam Shiva Machudam. So we saw it like this one. Next, please. An English traveler saw this one and he said that this is the biggest jigsaw puzzle he has ever seen. Because you are not going to recreate, you are not going to reconstruct the temple as you want. It should be as per the temple agamas of 7th, 8th, 9th centuries. It should be as per Manasara. It should be as per Mayamada. It should be as per Samarangana Sutradhara. Because you have got 3 very important texts. You have to reconstruct it accordingly. Next, please. इतना टूटा हूं मैं छूने से बिखर जाएंगे हम एक निमिषम तगर्न को. Next, please. So this dacoits, they took us to this place and they said that this area should be completed within 4 months. They gave me a time frame. I said that we will try, but there was one condition. I told them that you should not be here. You can go to some other place for doing dacoity, but you should not be here. They accepted this one agreement. And then now you just look at it. We saw this temple, the lower part of the temple. In Ayodhya also, while we were excavating, it was a lower part of a temple like this one, pillar base like this one, which had given clue to Professor B.B. Lal also, and I was also in the same excavation team of Ayodhya. And we came to the conclusion that it was a temple parts. So you have a pillar base there. Where is the pillar? You have got it in B. Where is the palaga on top of it? That is in C. And where is the sirsha? That is in D. So this is the temple gateway. But you cannot have a temple gateway only with one pillar. You have to have the other pillar. So I looked at for the second pillar, it was not available. But I am an archaeologist. I had to go dig down. I excavated. I could get it on the other side. Next, please. So you can see it. The other pillar base on that side. But where is the pillar? Next, please. You have got the second one also. Now you have to be, till this time you are an archaeologist, you are an explorer. Now you have to be a knee surgeon. घुटने का सर्जन बनना है. So you have to join them together. You have to join them by inserting this one, I mean steel and also araldite. Next please. It is standing. You can see the surgical mark there. You can see the surgical mark there also. And now what you have to do is you have to erect the other pillar also. And also there are 4 temples on the other side. You have to bring them down, give a strong foundation and then re-erect it as it was. Next please. Now you have got the second pillar also. And all those 4 temples, you have to bring them down, give a very strong foundation and then re-erect it as it was. So that for the next 5,000 years, nothing should happen to this temple. And just look at it, what kind of miraculous changes, transformation we are going to effect. Next please. Just look at it. The fourth month, I mean, it was about to come. I mean, these people, they came. So whenever these dacoits, they move, they will be having a pilot party also. They came, they saw, we conquered them. Not they conquered, we conquered them. They were blown off their feet. And then the pilot party army, I mean, he said, Sardar means Sardar Nirbhay Singh Gujjar. He was the top man of the dacoits. Ye to chamatkar ka kaam kiya hai. They have created wonders here. And Nirbhay Singh Gujjar came. He tried to smile, but he could not smile because he had killed a number of people. And there were 205 cases against him of murders. He tried to smile, he could not smile. He could only smirk. And then he said, Ye to chamatkar ka kaam hai. So that was a kind of certificate for us. And now we can do our thing better. Next, please. So you had seen it like that one. Now it is like this. Next, please. The other temple, I saw it. The Amalka is lying down there. Inside there was nothing. Neither Vishnu nor Shiva. You just cannot say anything. Then we look at the Lalada Bhima. Lalada Bhima is, there you have Ganapati. Ganapati, of course, Shiva's son. But at the same time, he is Vigna Vinayaka. He would be there in Vishnu temple also. So that was a problem for us. But then for an archaeologist, I mean, I looked at this thing. It is elongated. That gave me the answer. So that is elongated. That means that is Nandistan. So I just recited the mantra. Vahanam Vrishabho Yasya Vasugi Kandabhushanam Vame Shakti Taram Deva Vakaraya Namo Nama. Just recited the mantra. Took a circumambulation, pradikshina kiya. Niche ke slope area tha. And when I looked towards that one, there was a small, beautiful, cute Nandi looking at me as if he was waiting for my arrival for the last 1,200 years. Next, please. Temple is conserved. Now you might be asking, where is Nandi? Next, please. Just look at it. Beautiful, cute. Where is he looking at? He is looking at Kailash, where Shiva and Parvati are there. And he is listening to that Om which is coming from there. What is Om? We all call Hari Om. What is Om? Om Tat Brahma, Om Tat Vayu, Om Tat Atma, Om Tat Satyam, Om Tat Sarvam. So he is listening to that one. Next, please. Next, please. These temples. Next, please. I started my work. Next, please. A thing of perfect beauty and absolute finish. The whole 3 temples have been completely conserved. Next, please. Next, please. That one looks like the setting of an English horror story. Dracula jaise lagta hai. And now we have, because you know, inside the Garbhagriha there is nothing. And the outside is also now, it is very precariously standing. My people started working on this one. Next, please. Just look at it. 3 beautiful temples. A gem of rare workmanship. I call it a gem of rare workmanship. Next, please. Next, please. And if you go with an archaeologist, he has got a third eye. But whenever he walks, you know, he would be able to tell you what what is concealed below his shoe. And I was walking, and I said that below my this one shoot, I'll be getting 3 temples. And I was just walking. Next, please. I could get 3 temples here. From that debris, 3 temples here, 4 temples. Next, please. We were not having water. That was a big problem for us. But we knew that there would be water somewhere. Everything was completely covered. Then I just studied the terrain of the whole area, and I came to the conclusion that here we are going to get water. And I dug for water. Next, please. इधर से 3 मंदिर भी मिल रहा है. Next, please. You are getting that 3 temples here. Next, please. And now you would be getting water out of. But before that, you have got certain pujas. You have to invoke. It is not ordinary water. You have to invoke all the Sapta Sindhus. Imam me Gange Yamune Saraswati Shududri Somam Sajata Parishna. You have to invoke all of them, because these are river sukta from Rig Veda. You have to invoke them. And when I invoked, I got copious amount of water from here. It is now undying source of water for us also, and also for the dacoits also. And they were very happy. Next, please. Just look at it. They were very happy. Now they don't have to go anywhere. And many of them joined with us. They surrendered to the police, and then they joined for work with us. And we started paying also. So this is a kind of human engineering. You can just change the whole people. And we started, and we employed many of these people. Their children also we re-employed as this one, guides and other things. Next, please. So, unka कहना था, their comment, when they got plenty of water, their comment was, Man changa hai to katoti mein Ganga. If your mind is pure, Ganga ji is on your doorstep. Next, please. Now, this tree, it has completely eaten away the temple. Now, again, because Dr. Gayat, Madam was telling, because it's not only you have to preserve the temples, you have to also to preserve the rivers, and you have to preserve the trees also. So you just cannot cut away a tree like this one, even if you wanted to rescue the temple. There are certain formalities. Namaste Vriksho Kshamandu. You have to Namaste, Namasto Vrikshe Pujayam Kshamandu. You have to seek his pardon. Not only from him, also from the birds who would be roosting over this one. उनसे आपको कहना पड़ेगा, अन्यार्था वासम परिकल्पयन्तु. Kindly migrate from this tree to some other habitable tree, not to any other tree, to some other habitable tree. And that too, if it is during the nesting period, you cannot disturb them. You have to keep for 3 to 4 months, then only you can cut down. So we did everything as per the agamas, and when we cut down, the entire thing fell down. Isi tarike, there were a number of temples like this one. Next, please. Another temple, and its roots have gone through the ribs of the temple. Next, please. फिर हमने काम शुरू किया. Next, please. It has come up to that level. Next, please. It has come up to this level, and now only one more Radha we have to add. Next, please. Just look at it. 1,300 years temple. Next, please. You can just compare. Next, please. This was completely broken, but every part was there. It was all preserved because of the presence of the dacoits. Otherwise, it would have been stolen away completely. And then I started working. Next, please. Just come up to that level. Next, please. Just look at its divine in conception and sublime in execution. Next, please. Ekdam. बहुत ही होता है. ഞാൻ in മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയാറുള്ളത്, ഇത് കണ്ടാൽ തുടിക്കാത്ത മാനവ ഹൃദയങ്ങളുണ്ടോ എന്നാണ്. ഇത് കണ്ടാൽ തുടിക്കാത്ത മാനവ ഹൃദയങ്ങളുണ്ടോ. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. Now just look at this one. You can see only the stuff. and there is no temple. You have to remove the trees first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next, please. And this way you will be having the right before your eyes, you are going to have 20 temples. 20 temples, 6 on the A line, 8 on the B line, and then C on the lower line. With these fragments only. Next, please. My people started working. Next, please. 1 is coming up. Next, please. 2 is ready, but I had promised you 6 1 in this line. Next, please. Next, please. So whenever I say next, you know, almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 temples would be coming and doing namaskar to you. The 4th one, please. Just look at this. The 5th one, please. Just look at it. The 6th one, please. Just look at this. വാൽക്കണ്ണ് എഴുതി വനപുഷ്പം ചൂടി മന്ദസ്മിതവുമായി നിൽക്കുന്ന 6 temples, beautiful temples. And look at each stone that has gone into the creation of it. It's beautifully conceived, cut and polished like a sparkling diamond, and then each one is crafted into the 2nd one, 3rd one, 4th one, 5th one, and then the whole thing is brought into a very brilliant culmination to make it an enchanting musical note. Such beautiful temples. Now Lord Shiva is very happy with KK Muhammad. He might be unhappy with Muhammad Ghazni, Muhammad Ghori, Aurangzeb and many other people, but not with KK. Let's just look at it from the back side. Next, please. You had seen it like this one. Out of this, we have created these 6 temples. And we are going to have 8 more temples there and 6 more temples here. Next, please. Just look at it from the back side. What a beautiful, this one. The English traveler, his comment, this must go as one of the most sensitive archaeological projects in history. Not in India, in history. That is what he said. Next, please. You had seen it like that. Now it is like this one. Next one, please. This is the 8 temples just behind it. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By this time, I was transferred to Delhi because Commonwealth game was coming there in Delhi. So they wanted to be someone who has to complete the work before the time. So I was shifted to Delhi. But I was every Saturday, Sunday, I was coming from Delhi to this place. Next, please. Just look at it. And all these are dacoits. This is just one Singh Gujar. Well, all of them now they have joined in my army, not in the army of the dacoits. Next, please. Just, you can, what an, ഒരു കാലത്ത് ദേവാംഗനങ്ങൾ കൈയൊഴിഞ്ഞ ദേവാലയങ്ങളായിരുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ ഇതിന്ന് ആരെയും ഭാവഗായകനാക്കുന്ന ആത്മസൗന്ദര്യത്തിന്റെ ഉറവിടമായ ക്ഷേത്രങ്ങളായി മാറിക്കഴിഞ്ഞു. അത്ര മനോഹരമായിട്ടുള്ള ക്ഷേത്രങ്ങൾ. If the actual Lord Shiva comes down, he would prefer to spend few days in my new Kailasha. Next, please. Next. Now, if you are going to excavate this area, you are going to get many more temples. Next, please. Next, please. I am hurrying through because there is a shortage of time. I understand. Next, please. Next. Yeah. So now you have a row of. Iske pehle wala. You have a row of temples, 7 group of temples like this one. Next, please. This is Hanumanji. And dacoits, before going for dacoity, they will be doing puja here. And when they come back with the booty, they will be again, distributing their booty in front of him. Next, please. This temple, I saw it like this one. And you just see what we are going to do out of these fragments. Next, please. It's a huge temple. Next, please. Saw it like that one, it is now like this one. Next, please. Next, please. This is again, all these are fresh temples, except this one. Next, please. Next, please. Now there is a, huge, 80 temples I have been able to reconstruct. Next, please. And one day I was this one, the dacoit head, Sardar, he wanted to meet me because all others have joined with me. But he was running from the police because, the police people, Madhya Pradesh government, UP government and Rajasthan government, they have made a task force. So anybody can shoot him down. So he was running from pillar to post. So he wanted to meet me. I was just trying to avoid it, but he understood it. One day he was waiting for me here in this temple. Next, please. This temple, I saw it like that one, excavated it like this one. Next, please. He was sitting there, he was smoking. So मुझे गुस्सा, I didn't know who he was. I said that, आपको शर्म नहीं आते आप मंदिर में बीड़ी पी रहे? He was, of course, it was not inside. आपको शर्म नहीं आते आप मंदिर में बीड़ी पी रहे हैं? Are you not ashamed that you are smoking in a temple? He looked at me very contemptuously. He did not say anything at all. So I was always keeping other groups of dacoits along with me. So they came forward, caught hold of my hand and told me, sir, unse kuch mat kahiye. They were afraid of it, unse mat kahiye. So by that time I had seen his photograph in Ayatak channel. So I understood that I am just in front of the biggest dacoit of the area. Now there is no escape way. So I just stood before him. I had no courage to sit before him. I stood before him, then engaged him in a discussion, and I told him, sir, all this Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all these things are now preserved here, conserved here is only because of you. Otherwise it would have been either in America or in England or in some other countries. Unko bahut acha laga. He left, he felt it very good. And then I said, police cannot do anything, collector cannot do anything. Nobody can do anything. If you want to preserve everything, only you will have to help us. And then I told him, because I knew that they do a lot of Devi Puja they do. So I just recited some mantras from Devi Mahatmyam. Mahishasura Nirna, Shavidatri, Varade Nama, Rupam Devi, Jayam Devi, Yashodehi, Dishoji. So that created a kind of atmosphere. And then I told him, there is a secret behind sending you by God to this place. So he became very curious. Why the God should send him to this place? I said, all these temples, not only here, in Rajasthan also, in Uttarakhand also, this was made by a dynasty known as Gujjar Pradihara dynasty. They had ruled all over this area. After Harsha, Gujjar Pradihara dynasty. And your name is Nirbhay Singh Gujjar. That means you belong to that illustrious family. That is why God has sent you for the preservation of it. Blown off his feet again. Blown off his feet. And then he gave us full support and help also, even before that also. But he knew that the death is waiting for him. He would be shot dead any moment. Within 15 days, he was shot dead. Next, please. So now I got special people. And next, please. Next. Now it has become a huge temple. Next, please. It is next, please. Just look at this. It is a very huge temple now. And we use the fragments. Even if it is broken. Usse fragments. Next, please. Now Lord Shiva is happy to marry, and he had refused to marry. Now he has this. We got a number of sculptures there. If you marry, you have to have children. Egadandam Chaturbahu Gajavaktram Mahodaram Siddhi Buddhi Samayik. Next, please. And one day, the tourism minister, Yashodhara Scindia, Rajasthan chief minister ki Choti Bhan, she called me and she said, Mohammed, you have been doing such an excellent work. Why didn't you take me? So I said, Madam, I cannot take you earlier because of the dacoits. And now they have been shot dead. So she came along with me, and she was a very powerful minister and very, very competent minister also. She asked me, what do you need from my side? I said, there is no road to come to this place. So she immediately helped me. Next, please. Jyotiradity's India, he is also very, very, very cooperative, very helpful, and very, competent minister. You have to have this kind of ministers. Next, please. You had seen it like this one. Next, please. Now there is a traffic jam of temples. And now all around I have given a beautiful, this one also, garden also, a lush green landscape. Next, please. Just look at it. आज तक याद है वो उजड़े दयार का मंजर मुझको, आज तक याद है वो उजड़े दयार का मंजर मुझको, जिसकी तस्वीर निगाहों में लिए फिरता हूं. It is such a beautiful landscape now. Next, please. Next, please. So we had started from here. Next, please. Now it is like this. It is in an area of 2 kilometers. There is one temple there, and then there is another temple there. Next, please. And this was our friend who saved us, Nirbhay Singh Gujjar. And he knew that his death was coming. Next, please. And it happened, short death. So it became a problem for us, because now the rampant mining mafia, they started coming, they started rampant mining. Till they were there, it was protected because nobody had the courage to come to that area because they would be kidnapped. Next, please. And now, if they used to take 15 to 20 lakhs. If they are catching a school teacher, simple school teacher, they used to take 15 to 20. So if it is a mining man, they would be taking 2 to 3 crores of rupees from them. So they were afraid of it. But now once they are gone, this mining mafia started rampant mining. Next, please. They started rampant mining, my temple started coming down. I wrote to so many people, they were all getting money. Then I did something which a government servant should not have done. I wrote a very strong letter to K.C. Sudarshanji, who was the RSS chief at that time. I said that you stand for temples, and here your party is ruling. And here I have been able to convert 80 temples. And this mining is going on during your own government's period. The greatness of the man is he took immediate action. Police was rushed to the area. And mining group was so strong, they fired at the collector also, the SP also. And they could have easily finished me. But there were so many dacoits. So if something had happened to me, and they would have finished all those people there. Not only those people who had killed me, but the entire family itself. Because that is how they do their vengeance. So I was saved because of that one. Next, please. This was the letter. Next, please. Immediately, Ambika Soni was our minister. She wrote a letter to Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Next, please. And he said, now we have taken action, but then there was one more request by him that action should be taken against this officer who wrote a letter to Sudarshanji. So that was the request of the Chief Minister. Now it's a request from a Chief Minister to a Central Minister. I mean, my fate is now completely sealed. Trayambakam yajamahe. That is the only thing. You just cannot do anything. But I had so many people in various places because they had seen the work I had seen. So Ambika Soni said, no, nothing, we are not going to take any action because he has not done it for his own cause. It is for the conservation of the temples. Next, please. All the channels and all the newspapers were with me. Next, please. The Kochi preserve, help preserve Marina Temple. Next, please. Temple safe, CM and Chief Minister say, but Muhammad may face heat. Next, please. Now, it has become a huge tourist center. Number of people are going there. Next, please. Next, please. This is the student from Delhi school. Next, please. Bateshwar ke mandir bachaiye. Next, please. This is this one. Mahila hockey team. Next, please. They had won the Olympics. Next, please. Dacoit self-preserve. Next, please. Restored glory. Next, please. Malve mein mandiro ka khajana. This is Dainik Bhaskar. Next, please. Temple safe, CM tells Muhammad may face heat. Next, please. SI turns to RSS, gets help. Next, please. Illegal miners fire at collector and SP. They could have finished me earlier. Next, please. Sudarshan ji ki शासन पर शासन जागा खदाने बंद बटेश्वर के बंद. Next, please. मोहम्मद ने क्यों लिखा सुदर्शन को खत? CM ने उठाए ASI अधीक्षक पर सवाल. എന്റെ കാര്യശൈലി അദ്ദേഹം ചോദ്യം ചെയ്തു ചീഫ് മിനിസ്റ്റർ. But later on he realized his mistake also. Next, please. ഞാൻ രക്ഷപ്പെട്ടു. പക്ഷെ ഒരു യങ് IPS ഓഫീസർ അദ്ദേഹത്തെ വളരെ നിഷ്ഠൂരമായി ഇവർ കൊന്നു കളഞ്ഞു. In a very cruel way they have been, this young IPS officer who had, because by that time I was transferred to Delhi. They kill, because it's, killing is no problem. Bedam Banduk Behauf Mafia. Within a year they had tried 50 times to kill the persons. Next, please. I got SARC International Award for this one. Next, please. Gulzar Saab ne diya tha. Next, please. Many awards for this one. But after my departure, the things were not going that way. Next, please. Later on, the Chief Minister also realized, he gave me an award and I was not there. I had to receive French Prime Minister in Delhi, in Qutub Minar. So my wife went and received. Next, please. Then some people, they went to the dacoit because the work was stopped. Next, please. So he sent a letter to the Prime Minister, sent a copy to me also, but nothing happened. And then one day I received one phone call from a very powerful lady. You can, Sudha Narayan Murthy. She said it was in 2019. She said, I'm Mohammed. I would like to go with you to the place. His two sisters also and brother-in-law also. We went there. We were there for 4 days. Next, please. She saw the entire thing and she's a very, art and iconography also, she knows like anything. Like a scholar, she knows. Next, please. And then I was running some slum schools also in Delhi. Next, please. Because you can do, Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam means it's not that this one. Wherever I go, either I will be running some Excel schools or some kind of this one, dacoits school or for the school children. So I was running 4 schools. One was in Red Fort and the second was in Qutub Minar. Third one was in Puranikila. So many schools. Next, please. So during the night also we were having classes. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. So I got a Citizens Awardship for this one. It was from a very tall person. Next, please. And it was from him, so it became important. So since it was from him, a person who is taller than him, he came to India. He wanted to see this school, which I was running. Next, please. And that was this person. See why I have shown, because both he and his wife, they had a lot of questions about Upanishad. And I quoted from this Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam also, and he was very happy. And the next day he had his own speech in the parliament for the unified parliament house. And he quoted the same thing, Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. Of course, his lecture, his speech was earlier prepared, not because of this thing. He had a lot of questions, because what happened is, this one, the man who translated Upanishad into Persian, that was Dara Shukru, and Dara Shukru's grave was there in Humayun's tomb. So he wanted to see that one. I showed him the whole thing, and he was highly impressed by all those things and the Indian philosophy also. And he had brought special gift for the children. Next, please. Next, please. And after 5 years, when he came back, he wanted to see one of the children who had received him. That was Mr. Vishal. He introduced, because I had given just a push to these people, and now they have. He was studying in St. Columbus. And the person that is, Obama, he did not forget the way he had walked. How? Next, please. See, he had such a past, and that is why he did not forget. So Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam is not only different religions, races, groups and other things. It is also the community, also the Prakriti, also the Kide Makude, and we have to preserve and conserve all of them. Thank you all. Thank you very much for giving a very patient hearing.
KK Mohammed ji, I have been to the site twice. 2018 once and 21, I think, with a group of people. Is anyone here who traveled with me? Not you were not there? Yeah. I take youngsters for these kind, and this place I have visited twice, and also the temple in the shape of the parliament nearby. Yeah, yeah. And I heard your work there when I was there, and to go through this presentation. I feel absolutely fortunate, all of us are, to listen to a legend. The stones speak Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And to transform a dacoit group to creativity, to a monument, is a great task. We are grateful to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the scintillating speech. Right now, I'm speechless. The only thing that comes to my mind is I've seen Indiana Jones and other things like archaeology movies where they excavate things. You are the real Indiana Jones that I've seen right now, fighting with the dacoits. He's a living example of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I mean, he has shown us, like, each time how he took permission from the tree, from the river, and how he reconstructed them. Thank you, sir. You are a legend. Thank you, sir. With this, we wrap this interesting session on art, culture, and literature. Let me thank all the speakers for spending their precious time with us and for having a fruitful and stirring discussion. We'll have a short break and resume the session, which would be moving towards panel discussion. Yes, please be back within 15 minutes. And we have the QR code. Please scan the code and give your feedback. Thank you.